What an incredible artwork to have right in front of the museum. It's really a great beginning to everything. It's cool to see that these designs are made of tiny pieces of material if you take a close look.
So this artwork is a mosaic, which means it's made up of a bunch of tiny materials. The title of this one is Genesis, Gift of Life. Genesis means beginning, so it's actually a pretty cool comment that you just made. The artwork combines ideas from Mexico and Native American traditions to tell a story about four gods who controlled the four elements: water, earth, fire, and air.
Interesting. Someone told me this design was actually made for a Dallas building in 1954. I didn't even notice it was mosaic at first.
Look at all the different colors that we can see. Let's do an experiment. Pick a region of this mosaic that looks like it has around the same color when you're standing farther away. Now, compare the way the same region you picked looks when you were up close. What do you notice?
From further away, the area of the artwork I chose looked like it was mainly blue. But from up close, the same area looked very different. I can see there are actually individual tiles of different colors that make up the same region. The colors have kind of blended to create just the shade the artist wanted.
Exactly. Sometimes we call this adding one color to another. Adding color is something that we can think about mathematically. You've probably seen an artist's color wheel before, like this one?
Definitely, but I've never thought about a color wheel as math. I know it's a helpful tool for showing the relationship between different colors, like how the three primary colors are evenly spaced apart.
You're so right. The primary colors are red, blue, and yellow, and they are the ones that can't be made from mixing other colors.
I guess math comes in when you blend the primary colors to make the secondary colors, right? Those get placed at the midpoints between each of the primaries, forming another triangle of their own. A midpoint is a point that cuts a line segment exactly in half.
Right, and that can keep on going. You can think of a color wheel as kind of a math pattern that helps us make predictions about what happens when we mix or add some of these colors together. We used midpoints to predict the position of the secondary colors made from adding primary colors together.
But that doesn't work when two colors are on opposite sides, like the yellow and purple. Here, there'd be two possible options for the color that's exactly halfway between them. And I know from messing around with paints that neither one's right. They just mix into a muddy brown.
You're right. Remember, this type of wheel is mainly for figuring out the relationships between colors. It tends to be a bit off when you pick colors further away from each other. For that, we need a different kind of color wheel, one with the middle filled in too. As you can see, the midpoint of yellow and purple can still be the spot right between, and now it actually exists on our wheel. Looks like a muddy brown, just like you thought.
Interesting, so there are different kinds of color wheels. Did not know that. So what about some of those other ways of looking at color? What about color printers? I know that most basic printers use 4 different colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, which is just black. That's different than the colors we started with for the color wheel.
Right, inks work a little differently, and it was found that the best set of primary colors to use would be those ones. Printers actually combine them in a similar way to how Covarrubias did with the pieces of the tile in his mural, using overlapping patterns of dots.
So printers actually work more like mosaics than blending paints do?
Yes, they do.
To me, colors what makes so many of the artworks in the DMA have such an amazing impact. Isn't it amazing that in this artwork, Miguel Covarrubias simply laid the individual pieces in different ways to get different color effects?
Absolutely amazing. He used a simple math pattern by following a simple rule. For a high contrast boundaries of color, he laid the tiny tile pieces along the border. For low contrast boundaries, where the colors blended into one another, he didn't follow any particular pattern. And by using this pattern-making rule, he created beautiful and powerful artwork that we could all enjoy. There's a lot of math to color, isn't there?
So, adding colors, whether it's in a painting, a mosaic, or a screen, is both artistic and mathematical? That's so cool.